Hey, before you go home this Friday, I want to talk to you about something. Imagine you get this kind of report from the IMF for your island in the Eastern Caribbean or in the Dutch Caribbean right away. Are you the trusted policy advisor? Are you the trusted advisor that you can immediately write on, give information, give your perspective on this IMF report for your island? Are you that person? If you are not that person, you are not able to do that, then this topic is for you today. Why? Because I'm going to talk to you about why you need to have an economic framework to become the trusted advisor. I'm going to give you an example right now what is happening in Curacao, my island, how you need to create your economic framework so that you can be invited at the table. So trust me, this episode, in the next 10 minutes, I'm going to give you everything so that you can become the trusted advisor. Hi, my name is Unica Mira, and as you know, every Friday I bring you the Data Analysis and Policy Show. Okay? So let me put that show right on top, because this is let me put you the show right on top. Sometimes you make some mistakes because you need you have so many shows going on right away. So this is not a dream business, but this is the Data Analysis and Policy Show. I showed you exactly how I do it, because I have 3 shows. I have on Wednesday the Dream Business and Analysis, the Dream Business and Financial Freedom Show. On Friday, the Data Analysis and Policy Show, and I also have a show in my native language, Papiamento, from Curacao. So back to the show, Data Analysis and Policy Show. This show is about how you turn data into analysis so that you can create the right policy. So I showed you my screen. Let me just go back to show you the screen. Boom. This is a report. The Kingdom of the Netherlands, Curaçao and St. Martin, and IMF just recently came to our island and gave this report. And in this report they gave that the economy is going to contract by 4.5%. So we're going into a recession next year, a deeper recession. So how are they going to, how are they able to do this? So the topic I want to address to you is, if you want to become the trusted advisor, if you want to become the person that is able to talk to the IMF, talk to the government, talk to the business people, talk to policy advisors in your country, on your island, in the Eastern Caribbean and the Dutch Caribbean. If you want to be that person, then you really need to have an economic framework. You cannot be like the most people have. The most people in your island, they have the data spread around in different spreadsheets. They have multiple spreadsheets. They need to go to the Central Bureau of Statistics, the Tourism Bureau, the Ministry of Finance, the Central Bank. They need to go all to those institutions to gather the data. That is, if you are in that situation, you don't have the economic framework that I'm talking about. A trusted advisor is able to advise strategically because he or she has an economic framework, a framework that consists of data, a framework that enables you to do strategic analysis and turn that analysis in policy. Now, you don't have to believe me. Right after, I'm going to prove it, right after this IMF report was published for Curacao, I was able to go on Facebook and give some information, start a discussion about this report. And we are right now in this report. If you are looking at this in the future, then probably you should look at a discussion. But I'm going to show you. So again, what did I do? Look at this. I went right away, and this right away when the IMF published, I was able to produce this post on Facebook, on social media, where I commented on this. I commented on this IMF post. And I commented there because I have an economic framework. I have an economic framework where I have my data. I do my analysis every month, every week for 10 island economies. 10 island economies, all the economies in the Eastern Caribbean, Curacao and St. Martin. I have an economic framework where we do that. I was able to comment here. It is in Dutch, but you should look at your translation. I was able to comment that the growth accord, the growth agreement that the government is running right now, consists of 75 revenue generating and tax increasing measures, and 25% on expenditures cutting. So I was able to confirm basically the minus 4.5% that IMF is predicting, is forecasting for next year, because I have an economic framework. So right away, what I'm telling you, right away, when you have an economic framework, when you have a framework, you have your data in order, you are able as a policy advisor to comment. Right away, the IMF people, they come in, and this is just an example. The IMF people, they come in, they gather their information, they are the trusted advisor, but you as a policy advisor in a Ministry of Finance, Ministry of Economic Affairs, Ministry of Social Affairs, Tourism Bureau, you are able to right away speak with these people and comment. Okay? The next thing I'm going to show you is another article that I was able to do. So I was able to, let me see. I was able, let me put it that way, I was able to produce another article here about tourism. The tourism sector, that it is growing on Curacao with 11%. So while the people were talking and discussing and basically analyzing and adjusting to the IMF report, I was able to tell that the number of tourists is growing with 11%. That more is basically I was able to show that how many tourists should we have per year, and how much growth should our tourist sector have per year to reach full employment. So this is a policy scenario where I use my economic framework, and I'm constantly working on that. I use my economic framework to basically ask the question, if we want to solve all the problems, in this case for Curacao, the problems with unemployment, the problem with the taxes, the problem with the debt, the problem with the deficit, the huge deficit on the current account, meaning exports are way smaller than imports. You know, if we want to solve these problems, how much should tourism grow? And you would answer, okay, why did I choose tourism? That's for another episode. But I was able, with my framework, to actually right away publish an article where we discuss where the country needs to go. Okay? So what I'm saying to you What I'm saying to you is that the basic thing is, if you want to be the trusted advisor, if you want, if you are in the Eastern Caribbean islands, if you are in the Dutch Caribbean islands, if you want to become the trusted advisor, and of course also having a higher paycheck because you are interested in that, then you need to have an economic framework, because only when you have that economic framework, you're going to be agile, flexible enough, you're going to be ready when the economic discussions, economic, financial discussions, social discussions are being held. Other people will be reading the IMF report, reading the World Bank reports, because they don't have the analysis, they don't have the data, they don't do that. But once you have that economic framework, you will be having that. Now, we are going to do something great during the next 12 months. I'm preparing it. And if you are living in the Eastern Caribbean, in one of the Eastern Caribbean islands, meaning St. Lucia, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Grenada, Anguilla and Barbuda, Antigua and Barbuda, Anguilla, if you are living in St. Kitts and Nevis, Dominica, Montserrat, did I have all them? Also for people for Curacao, also for people for St. Martin. We have an economic framework for those islands. And if you are a policy advisor, somebody from the labor unions with a policy advising role, if you are dealing with the economic with the economy, if you are dealing with economic analysis, if you are influenced by economic analysis, and everybody is, but if you are in a policy position that you want to become the trusted advisor, especially for my people on the St. Vincent and the Grenadines, one of those islands, if you want to become the trusted advisor, then what I'm going to create, what I'm creating right now, and what I'm going to invite you to is going to be amazing, because you will be able to become that advisor quickly. You will understand that. You will be you will be right there advising the people. You will be invited to sit at a table. Okay? So what do you need to do right now? What you really need to do right now is you need to become part of my community. Become part of my community. It is free. While it is free, please, if you are on Facebook and you are listening to this, you should only click on a chat, on a message, and when you click on a message, then a chat bot message box is going to open, and my assistant Anna will onboard you into my community. We'll ask you some questions and we'll onboard you in my community. It will take only 3 minutes to onboard to my community. I'm going to send only information, more detailed information to the people in my community on that list. People who have onboarded for free in my community, I'm going to give them information, invite them for that experience, invite them for that program. And I'm working on that program right now. So, if you are not on Facebook, if you are looking at this on YouTube or on LinkedIn, what you need to do is type m.me/policy in paradise, and a chat message will open and you will be onboarded within 3 minutes. So you are standing 3 minutes from an opportunity to become part of my community for free, and that community is the community of people that want to become the trusted policy advisor, and the people who want to have more, to know more about how to get an economic framework to work in. That's it. If you have any questions, ask them, and I'm going to show you again this IMF report. and I'm going to wait for the IMF report, the detailed report, because when that detailed report is there, I'm just going to compare my figures of my economic framework with this and continue with creating great policy for this island. You can do that also. You can be doing that for all the Eastern Caribbean islands. You can be doing that. Don't wait for an economic report or an economic Article 4 report of IMF to come in and then be surprised what is going to happen. You need to be able to be right on top of it every moment. So that's it. This is it till Friday. Remember, this is the data analysis and policy show, and you just have seen that I also have another show on Wednesday, but that show is more if you have a business and you want to come online. But this show is about if you are a policy advisor and you want to become the trusted advisor. You don't want to run anymore behind deadlines. You don't want to run to different websites to gathering data. You don't want to be behind the curve, but you want to be ahead of the curve. If you have any questions, ask them below. That's it for this Friday. See you next time. Bye.